Hi, my name is Renee Green. I'm the Associate Director of Policy and Advocacy at Translate Jamaica, which is Jamaica's first trans-led and focused organization. Today, I'll be sharing with you stories from around the world exploring why COVID-19 is impacting women and girls disproportionately and what, as young people, we can do about it. This video is brought to you in partnership with UNFPA Caribbean. The COVID-19 pandemic is impacting women and men differently, but also boys, girls, and those with diverse gender identities, like members of the trans community, which I am a part of. We also know that the pandemic is making any gender inequalities worse. Lockdowns and other containment measures have led to a steep increase in sexual and gender-based violence. UNFPA predicts that if lockdowns last 6 months, there could be up to 31 million additional cases of gender-based violence. For survivors of violence, many of whom may be trapped with their abusers, there is nowhere to go. School, work, and other temporary safe spaces are closed, isolating them from their support systems and preventing them from seeking help. As health systems across the globe struggle to cope with the COVID-19 response, sexual and reproductive health services risk being sidelined. Due to containment measures and supply chain disruptions, young women may not be able to access the contraceptives they need, leading to unintended pregnancies. To maintain autonomy over their sexual health, young people have expressed a need for reproductive services and contraceptives that can reach them at home. For example, telemedicine or medicine delivery. School closures, even temporary ones, will impact girls disproportionately. Many are likely to face additional responsibilities to do household chores and care for family members. This means they are also more likely to fall behind in school, especially because they have less access to technology than boys, even if classes are online. It is even possible that pregnant girls may not be allowed to return to schools and would face stigma and discrimination or restrictive school policies, such as sending them to night school. COVID-19 is also disrupting efforts to end harmful practices against women and girls, especially female genital mutilation and child marriage. Because programs and services are not able to run efficiently, there could be 13 million child marriages and 2 million cases of female genital mutilation by 2030 that would have otherwise been prevented. As young people, it is on to us to contribute to the future we want to see and speak out against gender discrimination and these harmful practices. Gender equality is everyone's issue. Inequality affects women and girls, men and boys, and LGBT youth too. It is important for young people to stand against gender inequality during this pandemic. Here are some of the things you can do. Start a WhatsApp group to raise awareness about gender equality and the issues that matter to you. Challenge gender norms within your own families. For example, we should encourage our family members to share the household work equally, regardless of gender or age. We can also check in digitally with our friends and relatives to make sure they're doing well at home. We can volunteer to provide essential services, for example, by working with helplines for gender-based violence survivors. We can raise money or make a collection to provide menstrual hygiene products to adolescents who need them. And we can also create a list of support services for women and girls in our area and share it with our family and community. We never know who might be suffering in silence. Confinement might make us feel helpless, but our voices are not on lockdown. Governments are using social media to communicate more than ever, and we can use this to our advantage. If you have access to the internet, you can start a digital dialogue about the issue that matters to you. Tweet to a national decision maker about gender, start a petition, or write a digital letter to your local government. For example, you may want to advocate for gender equal practices, safe spaces for women and girls and other key and marginalized groups, keeping girls in school, and accessible information on how to protect against the virus. Now, if you're a man, you can help make sure that women and girls around you aren't suffering disproportionately from COVID-19 by staying engaged, asking questions, and doing your part. Check in with your household and ask where your help might be most needed. Check in on older relatives. It is a great way to start. Splitting household chores and other activities such as homeschooling, responsibilities taking care of the children, and other things. If you're feeling under pressure, make sure to communicate without giving into violence or anger. Our actions matter. This crisis has been difficult and life changing for many people. But we also have a unique opportunity to speak out against the long-standing inequalities that the pandemic is bringing to light, including gender inequality. As young people, we are also uniquely placed to challenge the status quo and support the most vulnerable members of our community, such as young women, refugees, migrants, and of course, members of the LGBT community, as well as internally displaced youth and young people without a home. Remember, our voices have the power to make a difference now more than ever. I'm standing against gender inequalities and taking action in my local community. If you're with me, use the recycle feature below to repeat this video in any language and share with your friends. Thank you and bye-bye.